In an era long past, as monarchies weaken, local feudal lords grew in power. The first knights simply protected their lords' domains. However, with the reforms of the late 11th century, knights became protectors of the peace. They valued courage and honor, fighting heretics and heathens in God's name. In this age, one company of knights was said to be invincible due to two men. Leon Belmont, a courageous man who feared nothing and whose combat abilities were second to none, and Matthias Kronqvist, a genius tactician whose learning made him an exception in a largely illiterate society. They trusted each other completely, and they were bound by an old friendship. However, sorrow awaited Matthias upon his return from a victorious campaign. It was news of the sudden death of his beloved wife, Elisabetta. Matthias's grief was profound, and he became bedridden. A year has passed since then. Thanks to Leon's efforts, their company remains proudly undefeated. However, a mysterious army of monsters suddenly appears in Leon's domain. The Crusades are raging in the east, and since the Church is focusing on fighting heathens rather than monsters, it has forbidden unauthorized battles. Leon wants permission to sortie, but the Church has no intention of granting it. One night, Matthias struggles from his sickbed and tells Leon that the appearance of the monsters is tied to a vampire who has a castle in the forest called Eternal Night, and that Leon's betrothed, Sarah, has been kidnapped and brought to that castle. Leon realizes that he must renounce his title to rescue his beloved. The forest is swollen with darkness, as if it would rob away everything, and only moonlight provides a ray of hope. A great legend is about to begin.
What just happened? I felt something strange.
Ah, he must really like you. You won't be able to leave now.
Who's there?
Now, don't get so excited. I'm just an old man. I just came to gawk at the man crazy enough to come here.
You don't seem like a monster.
Of course not. What is your name?
Leon.
Leon. You're not Baron Leon Belmont.
Just Leon Belmont. I have given up my title. And you, old man?
Pardon me, Lord Belmont. My name is Rinaldo Gandolfi.
You can call me Leon, and I will call you Rinaldo. Don't call me Lord. We're equals now.
As you wish. Now, please follow me to my cottage. I want to talk to you. Wait here a moment. There's something I want to give you.
Rinaldo, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Why are you living in a place like this?
I have unfinished business with Walter Bernhard, the master of this forest.
Unfinished business?
Not worth mentioning. I owe him.
Well, I won't ask any more, but you're not in danger living so close to him?
It seems eternal life is extremely boring. He enjoys playing at cat and mouse with the hunters that come here, though, of course, there's no way that he could ever lose. He thinks that, my helping hunters makes the game more fun.
I see. But what do you mean by there being no way he could lose?
Vampires are loved by the night, and this forest is locked in eternal darkness. He has never been defeated.
Well, that may be so, but I must go ahead and face him.
Did he take someone precious?
Yes, he abducted my betrothed. How did you know that?
It's what he always does when he starts the game. You came unarmed. Your courage astonishes me.
I do have a weapon, just not my sword. That belongs to the company, and I left it behind when I gave up my title.
Honest to a fault.
I heard that many hunters have met their end here. If that's the case, getting weapons shouldn't be hard.
Take this with you. It will help you against monsters.
What is this?
A whip made with alchemy. It's stronger than any dead man's discarded sword.
Alchemy. I'm not familiar with that word.
Not surprising. The field experiments with the principles of God's creation of the world. The only person who truly understands it is Matthias.
You know Lord Kronkvist?
I have known him longer than you have. His family has a book of secret arts, originally handed down orally.
Secret arts? I never knew.
Of course not. Only a handful of people in this world know about it. There are some who consider alchemy to be heresy.
I see.
Are you one of them?
No. If you are an acquaintance of Matthias, you are trustworthy. I will use this whip with gratitude.
Put your left hand out.
My left hand. Like this?
Don't move now. That should do it. You can put it down now.
What was that?
The gauntlet is enchanted now.
A spell?
Some enemies' attacks release a special power. If you block them with the gauntlet, you can gather that power.
What can I do with the gathered power?
You'll be able to use magical relics by releasing that power.
Magical relics?
Right. Those who excel in magic can use them. I have cast the spell so that you can use them as well. I have some. You should be able to obtain them in the castle as well.
I understand.
Right now, this is all I can do for you.
Ronaldo, thank you.
Wait a minute. I forgot to tell you something. The door leading to his throne is guarded by 5 monsters.
So I will need to defeat them first.
That's right. That's essentially the test you must pass to fight him.
What a bothersome...
I told you before. To him, this is a game.
I realize that, but...
If you have troubles, come back here anytime. They won't be free, but I'll keep potions on hand for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Okay, so the game begins now. So this is a lot different from most of the other 2D Castlevania games. Your only main weapon to use is, well, here's a quick little thing. This is actually how you use items and how you equip your how you equip weapons, your armor, your accessories, etc. You have to. It's just a simple touch of the D-pad or the right stick. I'm using the PlayStation Network controller. The only weapon that you get is a whip, but you can acquire more variety of whips that have elemental powers. But that's only from beating certain secret bosses. Let's actually take a look at our screen right now. Right now, we're not using the Vampire Killer. We have the Whip of Alchemy. It's just the whip that Ronaldo gave us. And we also have a knife, the common first sub-weapon in most Castlevania games. And this also gives us a list of our HP, our MP, our attack, everything else. All the good little details. I'll get into this. This game kind of plays similar to...
Sarah, wait for me. I'm coming to save you.
I haven't seen Matthias yet, but we did hear him mention. Oh, quick thing. Whipping this gives you hearts, that's how you use your sub-weapons. And you use them with the circle button. Pretty basic Castlevania stuff. So, before we actually get started with the main game, let's go ahead and move over here to the left. And this will kind of give us our tutorial section of the game. You access, you interact with things by pressing the square button. You whip these things to get hearts, that'll give you more mana to use for sub-weapons. Okay. So now this game's going to give us kind of an idea of how to play the game. There's and the reason why I'm doing this is not just to patronize you with the tutorial stuff, but it also gives you a few cool little equipment items. Like this. This is a marker stone. It kind of tells you where you're going. But I never really use these, so it's not a big deal. So the first thing is double jumping. Pretty simple. Yep. Yeah, and you climb up once you're close enough to an edge. Oh, and there's a potion. Obviously, it's a health restoring item. The whip is more than just a combat item, like this right here. This actually kind of falls under the Super Castlevania 4 method, where you use the whip to access ledges from a distance. Hang on. Oh, there you go. In certain instances, like with platforming, you can use the whip to get up to higher spots. And sometimes there might be really cool stuff for you to get. So let's go ahead and get... It's been a little while since I've actually done this. This is not a terribly long game, but it's very fun. I should be able to get this done relatively quickly. Fighting enemy. Okay, your combat is designated to 2 different attack buttons. There's square, which is your fast attack, and then there's triangle, which is your strong attack. Oh, and we can also learn new techniques by defeating certain enemies. So now we get the quick step. So basically, kind of like our dodge roll. So far, this will be our dodge roll for the moment. We will get a better dodge roll eventually, but this will have to do for the moment. And like Ronaldo said, which we're going to see very shortly, right about... Oh, no, this is still using the whip. But let's go downstairs and actually see... Yeah, there's another little potion. This game actually does have a particular glitch like a few other Castlevania games, and I'm going to try using that, and I'll use that. It's an item dupe glitch. I know that might seem a little cheeky, but it will help speed this along. The magical ticket lets you go directly back to Ronaldo's place once you use it. So it's pretty good for getting items really quickly or getting out of this tricky situation. So like Ronaldo said, if you block an enemy's attack, like if you counter hit him, then you can actually restore some MP. But first, we actually need a magical relic. So we have the Svarg statue, which lets us set fire whenever we press the circle button. So let's wait for him to attack. And there we go. Now we can just, by pressing the guard button and then pressing circle, we can just light him up, use fire. And by holding the L1 button, we can actually adjust. This is for later. Nope, it's the L2 button. This allows us to choose our relics that we'll use that we pick up in the rest of the castle. Forgive my stuttering here. So let's keep moving. Alright, so that's all the tutorial items so far. Alright, let me kind of get back onto this. Let me just give you a little bit of information about myself on this. I absolutely love voice actors, and voice acting in general. So I actually know, I'm actually a little hyped about seeing most of the voice actors on this list. But before I get into that, let me actually show you, there is, like I said, there is an item dupe glitch. And it's in this room right here. You just gotta bring your foot right around here, go to your item list, and boom. You just go down the list like this. And you get one extra item for each. This will save us a lot of time and a lot of money that we'll be able to... So we'll be able to progress pretty quickly through the game. These blue doors right here, you don't have control of the camera, by the way. These blue doors right here are always save areas. And what these do is they restore your health, and they restore your health. Yeah, they just function like regular Castlevania save statues. They restore your health and save your progress. And they are rather plentiful. I don't know if they restore your magic. And the right stick, which is usually designated to a camera, is... Oh, nope, they don't restore your magic. Okay. Alright, voice acting. Right. So, even though we haven't seen Matthias Kronkvist, he is voiced by Crispin Freeman, which means we will be seeing him eventually. He'll play into this game a little later on. Not going to spoil it, but he will be kind of a player in this. We will see him later. Like I said, the main character is voiced by Dave Wittenberg. For fans of video games, you might know him better as the voice of Teddy from Persona 4, the Vanilla Edition for the PS2. And I believe he was also... I actually have the behind the voice actors page opened up just for this occasion. Mostly... hang on. I'm trying to coordinate the control... Oh, yeah, he's going to be a voice actor in Mighty Number 9. Trying to focus on the page, and... Oh, and he was also Kefka Palazzo in Final Fantasy Dissidia, the fighting game. So he does a lot of really cool stuff. Oh, and he was also Welkin in Valkyria Chronicles. But fans of anime might know him better as Kakashi Hatake from Naruto or Gino from Code Geass. And I'm wandering around a little bit because I was just paying attention to the page and not to the game. Sorry about that. Anyway. And like I said, our buddy Ronaldo is voiced by Michael McConaughey. Very talented voice actor. Kano and Seth, so... Plays a lot of more... And I think he was also in Code Geass, too. Plays a lot more older characters who have more stern voices. Not so much as Richard Epcar or Jameson Price, but, you know, pretty deep. Okay, I actually have... Let me actually try getting into... Okay. So the game plays a lot like most of the regular Castlevania games. You have a variety of enemies like zombies, skeletons, but like I said, unlike the 2D Castlevania games, this one doesn't have any leveling up. You do learn skills from killing certain enemies. And let's see. By pressing the select button, you pull up your map, so you can basically kind of get an idea of where you're going. At first, I never used the map when I was first playing the game, because I was more used to, well, I just didn't know how to use it. The music is also pretty good in this game. Let's see. I think the first door was locked, but I'm not entirely... Pretty sure. Oh, excuse me. Nope, it was not. Okay. So, like Ronaldo said, there are 5 different areas for us to explore. Each of them has a particular boss and a different whip upgrade for us, an optional whip upgrade that we may or may not have to use. I think I'm only going to get one particular whip upgrade before I get... And that should do me pretty well. The Vampire Killer will come into play, but that's until later. I know that sounds like kind of a spoiler, but the Vampire Killer is kind of a major staple in the Castlevania series. So don't worry, we'll see it. So, yeah, this is actually the first game chronologically in the series. This was before Trevor, this was before Simon, this was before... who else? This was before Soma and all the other Belmonts, or Portrait of Ruin with Jonathan Morris. Okay, so coming into rooms like this, by pressing down the jumping does not want to work with me. Okay, hang on. There we go. By pressing down on them, you unlock part of the lock for certain doors that have secrets in them. These are more or less optional in most of the other rooms. I don't know if it's... I forget if it's optional here, but I think this is kind of just showing you a bit of a tutorial for it. The first map is not really that hard. It's pretty basic. It is... So, like I said originally, there were probably a lot of trepidations in regards to most of the 3D Castlevania games, like with Legacy of Darkness, Castlevania 64, and those probably weren't very good examples of good 3D Castlevania games. But then again, they weren't produced by IGA, so... But this one is, so it's got that going for it. And then there's also the sequel one to this, which I think is... I don't know if it was... Oh, dang it, I keep forgetting what it was called. And actually, I believe Crispin Freeman voiced in the sequel... Well, not the sequel, because it takes place when Trevor's a character. Hang on, let me look that up really quick. Pretty sure he was in there. Oh, Curse of Darkness. Legacy of Darkness, Curse of Darkness. It's kind of confusing, occasionally. And that one's a bit weirder because you're not playing as a Belmont, and your character's not exactly like Soma. I think you level up, but mostly you're kind of doing, you're kind of managing little minions while you're fighting, familiars. But then again, that game does have a really cool design for Trevor. So that's kind of cool. If that ever comes out on PSN, I'll be able to form a better opinion of it. I only seen like certain cutscenes from it. But Trevor looks cool in it, so that's something. Trevor's a pretty cool Belmont. Although Leon is certainly more refined and polite than Trevor. Oh, we got a new extension. So now our combo for our quick combo can actually do 5 hits instead of just 4. So see, Leon learns more techniques as he defeats enemies, like I've said before. A quick little thing. Since the newest episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is coming out tomorrow, there's actually a lot of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure related or kind of nods to the Castlevania series. Like, there's always an item called the Stone Mask. That's Neapolitan. That's one of the healing items. It's a food healing item. And since we have the item dupe glitch, we could probably make infinite of it. Infinite of it. But let's not go ahead and waste time on that. There's an item up there and I want it, so I gotta use the whip. Shoot. There we go. That's just some cash. Cash will help us buy some more items from Ronaldo's shop. That's kind of where we will pick up some armor after we defeat each new boss. So it's pretty useful. Let's see, where does this door lead? Making pretty decent progress so far. Right, so in similar to the JoJo series, the Castlevania series has pretty good... it kind of follows a similar story. It's always about one particular family fighting off an ancient, powerful vampire, or certain creature of the night, or his followers. In In JoJo's case, it's the Joestar family. In Castlevania, it's the Belmont clan. And I think there's always... And with the first Belmont and with the first Joestar member, they're very polite, they're very honorable, they're certainly a lot more refined than some of their descendants. And it's the member from the third series who's always the more rough and tough one. Like, Trevor's way more abrasive than Leon is. And the same with Jotaro and Jonathan Joestar from the first JoJo, Phantom Blood. See, and Blood also plays a decent... Well, this one is Lament of Innocence, and that one was Blood. That one was Phantom Blood. So maybe the titles aren't entirely similar. Let's see. What else? The Stone Mask is also an item that pops up in most Castlevania games, and that's also a huge... That's kind of like... That's the item that brings about vampirism in the JoJo series. So again, that's another reference. And I'm not dodging properly. Or blocking. This game is not like most character action games. It's more of a beat 'em up. Or a hack and slash, I'd say. It's like Devil May Cry / God of War. Let's see. Oh, I had a huge thing. I'll get back to the JoJo thing. Actually, this game, the main antagonist in this is Walter Bernhard. And there's actually a reference to him in Lords of Shadow 2, where they make a reference directly to the character's name, and they kind of have his appearance somewhat. Yeah, I'm not exactly a huge fan of Lords of Shadow. It was kind of not my. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it just didn't feel Castlevania. It just didn't feel too Castlevania-y. I guess playing as Dracula and yet not playing as a Belmont playing as Gabriel or playing as Dracula just didn't feel as good as playing as one of the original Belmonts or as Soma. I don't know. It just didn't feel... It just felt kind of mean, and it felt kind of too nitty-gritty. I mean, this series can be gritty, but it can also have a sense of levity to it. I don't know. It's a different type of gritty, I guess. Eventually, the enemies are going to get a lot bigger, and it'll probably take more than just... Oh, apparently they're kamikazes. Never dealt with that before. And it'll take more than just constantly whipping at them. Just wailing on the square button or triangle button to stop them. Oh, I just had something. Oh, so this will be a relatively short series. I know I teased it. I kind of teased it along with during one of the more recent episodes of No More Heroes. I'm not really sure. I actually already filmed the finale of No More Heroes at the time of this recording, and I'm not really sure how far along. I kind of just want to do this for the Bloodstained Kickstarter. Obviously, they've more than made their goal. They don't need any more help, but, you know, it's always nice to support a really cool game. And it looks really nice. The artwork looks fine. Artwork looks really nice. The characters certainly look interesting. Obviously, the new, obviously with David Hayter voicing Gabelle, and with Robbie voicing someone. I guess he might voice Johannes. They kind of look similar. I don't know. I'm sure it's going to turn out to be a really cool project. But enough about that. You gotta know where you've been before you know where you're going. So like I was saying, this game feels a lot more simple and a lot more Castlevania-y than Lords of Shadow. Again, this was an EGA-produced game. And the story feels a lot more sincere, a lot nicer, even though they're kind of both focusing on the same kind of topic. They're both dealing with lost loves. Leon is looking for his love, Sarah, who's been stolen away by Walter Bernhard, and Gabriel had to deal with the loss of his love, and he's trying to use the God's Mask in order to kind of bring her back. And yet Leon is a far more charismatic protagonist. even though they have Robert Carlyle voicing the characters. Oh yeah, that's another thing of kind of why I don't particularly. Yeah, you can't use items here. You have to use the real-time window. That's kind of a point against this. While this game does have a few issues, it is overall pretty fun. I enjoy it quite a while. Oh, and that was actually a high potion. That recovers a lot more health. So that will make the item dupe stuff a little less necessary. And the room that we were in whenever we were picking out the stage, this one is the first one. Oh, new sub-weapon. So this is the crystal. And right now it's not doing much. Oh, it's a grenade. It's a mine. I prefer the knife, though. We haven't been using the sub-weapons. But the sub-weapons, you do get sub-weapons as normal Castlevania games, but there is a point in the game after you defeat the bosses, there will be kind of modifications that you can make to your sub-weapons. So I feel that's another point in this game's favor. That was something that was dreadfully missing from Lords of Shadow. There were no sub-weapons, to my knowledge at least. It was just the combat cross, which looked really cool and had a cool name. And then there was the Void Sword, and there was like the Chaos Claws or something, which were shadow or light and shadow magic. And again, that felt a little too God of War-y. I don't know. It just didn't feel entirely. Right. It feels like you kind of need sub-weapons, or you need something that's a decent replacement for it. Can I get up there? Oh. Curious if I can. Oh, yeah, I gotta. Silly me. The whip jumping mechanics is occasionally a little stingy, but it's fine. It's tolerable. And I'm gonna give this a few more tries to get in there. Never mind. I don't think I need to get in there just yet. Where have we not been? There you go. Let's go across the hall. See what else is. See what's in that room. So yeah, this game is. It's again the camera controls. The lack of camera controls is a little problematic, but it's fine. It's tolerable. I mean, it's not god awful in that regard. Let's see. I need to find something more to talk about. Jojo. What else happened in Jojo? Oh, right. Oh, okay, cool. We have the axe now. The axe is a lot more better of a weapon. Okay, so some of the modifications for weapons either alter. Well, I'll get into those whenever we get there. Let's see. What else? So, like I've been saying, after I finish up Castlevania, I've already finished up No More Heroes, so that's half of the way there. Well, that's No More Heroes is already done. So after I finish up this series, which shouldn't take terribly long, I'll get onto my longer series of that RPG game that I've been teasing for a while. So that's gonna be fun. We have Buckbeard. I thought those were like Beholders or Peekers. Interesting names for these characters. For these monsters. Skeledogs! Oh, cool. We learned... Oh, we got an air combo now. The air combo is actually really useful, especially for for certain bosses. I believe the boss of this area is... Oh, I guess skeleton dogs can just phase through into the ground and move through shadow. And they're a little too fast for my taste. Nah, they're fine. They're at decent speed. Just gotta... So that's kind of the main formula of this game. Beat up enemies, and that'll unlock a door. And occasionally you might find a secret, like that cache up there. Yeah! I know I'm not making it very coherent or very interesting commentary at the moment, but the game is just starting up, and whenever more stuff opens up, that'll make more room for commentary better. Talk, words, good. Jeez. Oh, jeez. Red skeletons follow, or red rust as they're called, or wait, are they called? Yeah, red skeletons. They fall in the line even if you attack them, they'll still just pick themselves up again. Little difficult. I'm not entirely fond of the real-time item menu, because it kind of makes things a bit more... It kind of, I don't know. It kind of makes things a little... Well, actually, it's fine, because it keeps the speed of the game. It keeps up pace. You're not just breaking up the pace while you're going into the menu and just sorting all your stuff out. You gotta do it on the screen. But you can get interrupted out of them. This armor guy isn't that tough. Once he's gone, the door opens up. I think we're getting close to the boss. No, there's a marker stone. And we got a... Jumping mechanics for these rooms is quite difficult sometimes. Oh, and like most Castlevania games... Oh, that's for a completely different... That's for a completely different room. Did I just do all that for that? Where am I going? Oh. There's a whole... No? Shoot. Guess we have to go back to... Not sure how to work this. Okay. Oh, shoot. Oh, keeps using the D-pad for some reason. I guess we have to go back to that room with the... that's being blocked. With the whip puzzle that's being blocked by that one little, barred grate. Yeah, even with the map... Yeah, I was originally playing this game when I first started out without the map, so that made things a bit more difficult than it needed to be. Oh, but once you actually clear a room, that had a locked door, the doors are unlocked after you've cleared it once. So that's convenient. And again, you're not leveling up from killing enemies. Only, like, I think first encounters with certain enemies unlocks skills for you. And actually, if I could have used a certain password in this game to have unlocked all the skills right at the beginning of the game, but I'm already going to be using the item dupe glitch to kind of speed things along. I'd rather not overdo it. The axes are pretty useful, at least for right now. There are obviously better items later in the game, like the cross. Cross is my favorite item in the game, and it actually has really, really cool. Actually, plays out really, really cool later on. Because while you might not be able to level up in this game, like I said before, you are able to modify your sub-weapons and your main weapon. That's for the crystal. I don't need that. Can I get up there? I want to say I can. No, it doesn't want to let me go up there. Oh, freaking dicks. Yeah. Oh, and whenever Leon does the air combo, he just stands in the middle of the air. Doesn't dangle his legs or anything like most normal air combos, but he just stands firmly into the air, defiantly against the creature of the night. Oh, right. Now I think I can come up with some more JoJo stuff. Yeah, unlike... I say unlike. Yeah, it's always placed against one particular family, against the creature of the night, or like kind of a replacement for Dracula. There's always someone who... There's always some kind of... and the main antagonist is always very charismatic to a degree. Like Dracula apparently commands forces that are... of people who you have no idea why they would swear their allegiance to someone who does not really value them that much. And they also command those who are quite a bit strong, or should be stronger than them under normal circumstances. Maybe this isn't the way to go. I don't know how to get up there. There's got to be a way to get up there. Like with Dracula, he commands death. Apparently. I have no idea. Oh, there's one area I didn't go to. Let's try that one. Maybe this is an area for later. I don't know. I'm wasting time. Can't waste time. Yeah, Dracula commands death, and I have no idea how that relationship works, because death should be eternal. Death is kind of like the archangel of death, more or less. And yet Dracula commands him. Anyway. And in JoJo, at least with the most popular vampire-based character in that series is Dio Brando. And he commands quite a few stand users who are vastly superior to him. Granted, Dio's really cool and really awesome. It has some really is really strong. He does command a few, or he at least is admired by some who have powers that surpass his. Oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. We got the little creeper guys. They got little knives. Fleamen. Another common staple in the Dracula series. In the Castlevania series. They don't look as cute in 3D as they do in 2D. Not that they looked cute before, but still. They were kind of like... They were just kind of little gremlins. Yeah, all the Castlevania classic villains are here. Or monsters are here. Just in different... Okay. Now we're actually making progress. You just gotta avoid these shadows from... Yeah, because then it just shoots out blood at you. Not really sure why the light walls are here if you can just jump over them. Doesn't really make much sense. Is there multiple ways we can go about this? Yes, there are 2 ways we can go about this. I forget if there's an air dash in this game. I want to say that there is. Oh, right. What I was going to say is... I keep flipping back to... relating this back to old Castlevania games and JoJo. Because there's a lot of connections between those. What is this item here? Oh, gold torches always have sub-weapons. We got holy water. Yeah, this is a good area effect. This is a pretty good area effect weapon. It's good for crowd clearing. Crowd control. Uses death door. Yeah, and we can jump past this too. Again, not really sure why you wouldn't just give the player full range of the area and not just block off certain parts of it. Whoa, 1,000 gold. I guess that kind of worked against the camera. Oh, but jumping on these can get you some 100 gold apiece. Again, gold will be used to purchase any kind of money grinding items for later or for purchasing armor. Now we have to avoid spikes. Yeah, I want to say there is an air dash. Okay, like classic Castlevania games, there is a second playable campaign. You can play as another character later on. Oh, these are special doors that are only unlocked by certain colored keys that you find in different dungeons within the castle. And there are 5 dungeons, and there's about 4 keys based on the north, south, east, west Chinese beasts like normal. So there's... Well, no, they aren't. They aren't based off that. But they are based on the animals, just not the colors. So it's the dragon, turtle, bird, and I guess tiger. Alright, so that's 2 out of 3 locks for that door. Oh, this isn't going to be a 100% run. I know that's kind of a staple at this point of me saying that by now, but... Alright, it's a dead end. But there is a lot of stuff in this game to cover. Like, Castlevania games are pretty short, but they have a lot of stuff to explore, a lot of stuff to unlock. Like, there are multiple whip upgrades in this game, and we won't really need... Honestly, my first time I beat... Oh, went through the yellow dragon door again. Ah, excuse me. My throat's kind of sore at the moment. There are multiple unlockables. And honestly, there are multiple whip upgrades that had different elemental effects, but I only really needed 2 of them. And one of them was the last whip upgrade, and the other one was the very first whip upgrade. So they're not... I mean, they are probably really cool to use. It's just I never really needed them. Again, I was also using the item glitch to kind of just use health potions. And this kind of makes us immortal, more or less. I say immortal. You still have to be somewhat careful about dealing with enemies. And dealing with certain... And bosses can be quite challenging at times, too. But then again, it's not like... there are no items that, like, increase your strength or increase your speed or whatever. It's more or less just keeps your health above. And I'd rather not see... I don't think I ever actually had to use the magic relics at a point either. But then again, I never really had to block that much. So overall, it's not that... The item dupe glitch does make things a lot easier and does save you a lot of time. Let's see. Yeah. 5 hours and 27 minutes. So not that long. Not that long of a playthrough. I will try showing off a little bit of the alternate character that you can play as. That character doesn't really have any cutscenes to work with. Well, he has... The alternate character does have, like, 1 or 2. But there is no real story for that character in their mode. They're cool to play as, and they're a lot different from how Leon plays. But there is no, like, real health items that character can use. And they're only limited to... They don't even use sub-weapons, even in that regard. It's kind of like Julius mode, but in reverse, if Soma was the character that you played as instead of Julius Belmont. It's just a bit more of a difficult mode for to play in. Alright, there's 2 doors. You never want to make progress right away. You always want to look on the side path to see if you're missing anything. Let's go this way. Again, not a 100% run, but I don't want to miss any certain health upgrades or whatever. Because this game does have health upgrades, it does have heart upgrades, it does have MP upgrades. Again, like most Castlevania games. So that's pretty useful. It doesn't follow the Igavania style to a T, but it does retain more than a few of the same features of it. I am seriously digging the music in this game. It's got just enough foreboding to it. It's got just enough... Oh, we're made a circle right now. Alright, I guess we can head back. It has just enough, like, foreboding and enough mystical elements to it. Getting back to the... Oh, shoot, I went the wrong way. Getting back to the voice actors of the game. Yeah, I'm not really sure... Dave Wittenberg is a fine voice actor. I'm not really sure why they replaced him in Persona 4 Golden. Not that Sam Riegel isn't a good voice actor. I enjoy his work as Teddy. He's very good. He's been in a lot of video games that I've played in. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Yeah, but I think, oh, gotta press another lock button. Wonder what this will unlock. But yeah, I don't think Dave's performance as Teddy was terrible. I don't think it was annoying or anything. Yeah, Teddy was kind of a weird character. Was kind of a comedic effect character, but he wasn't god-awful in that game. So I think we unlocked a door somewhere in the castle. And it's probably down the area that we haven't gone yet. So maybe since we unlocked... I'm pretty sure since we have unlocked that, we might get a few extra... Oh, that's a thing that I don't care for this auto... for this in-game item screen. Let me turn down the game audio just a pinch. There we go. Not really gonna matter because I'm gonna be editing the audio anyway. But it might have seemed... It looked a little loud on my Elgato. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really mind his voice performance in that game. Oh, okay, here's the door. I guess we kind of have to do the lock section because I think that's the only one that you have to do in the game just to make progress. I think the rest is kind of optional. Or maybe this was optional, I'm not sure. It's been a little while since I played this game last, but I've still got enough sense about it. I haven't really needed to block. They apparently guard break you. I don't think the whip upgrade... Yeah, so right now the Whip of Alchemy is... It does a pretty decent amount of damage, but I don't think it plays out... It doesn't play like Julius mode where it upgrades after each boss you beat. I think the only way that you can really upgrade it is by beating certain optional bosses. So far, we have not met any of them. But I will show off at least one. Alright, there's two ways we can go in this room. Let's go this way. Always look for optional stuff. Oh, shoot. These wolf skeletons change the rules constantly. They can phase through shadows, they can turn on fire, and they can jump like a motherfucker, apparently. Alright, so since I'm obviously still... Since we obviously still haven't found the boss within, like, 15 minutes time, Jesus, we're getting close, I promise. We're getting very close. Let's see if I can relate some more JoJo shit in accordance to this. Because it is the day before the episode, before the newest episode comes out, and I'm still enjoying Stardust Crusaders. It's pretty awesome. I watched the original OVA, and that was pretty good. I actually learned about JoJo from Anfish's dub of it. Oh, this is another optional. This is another part of an unlocking a door. Where does this one go? It's for another triangular door. Maybe this will end up being a 100% run at the rate I'm going. Jeez. I keep doing that. Let's actually use a high potion. No, let's not. Oh, heart repair. That's to recover hearts. Let's just use the regular potions. We could use the magical ticket to go back to Ronaldo's to buy stuff, but we don't need to. We're getting close, and we don't want to waste any extra time. Right, JoJo stuff. Yeah, so far the fight with Dio is looking pretty. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good, you guys. I'm enjoying it. For those of you who have kept up with the manga, or at least know somewhat about JoJo. Oh, okay. Now we're definitely getting close, because this is part of the whip puzzle. So we step on this. It goes down. And now, guess we had to get over the electrified fence. Anyway, back to JoJo. So yeah, another Castlevania thing. Another thing that Castlevania kind of takes, or maybe they did it first, was, well then again, Bram Stoker. Not sure. So the main character, so the main antagonist, Dracula, or Dio, always had a son who kind of went against all that they stood for. With either Alucard or with Giorno. Giorno was a cool guy who kind of played more like the Joestar family, and Alucard is the reverse of Dracula, so he could stand against everything that his father stood for. And there's the cross. And so far, it does these little options that kind of block, but it will get cooler eventually. So far, this is kind of okay. It's fine. It's kind of a decent little defense. But, like I said before, it will get... All the sub-weapons will get cool upgrades. So now we're in the basement area. And I think we're actually getting close to the boss. We should be. God, this is a big-ass castle. Or maybe we're not. Maybe this will be a really, really long episode. Because, oh, right. Pay attention to those goats and women heads. With stones on. Goat and women head stones. Because they are actually very important for sub-weapon, for upgrades. Yeah, so this just does constant damage instead of tiny little middling damage, but still constant. Pretty useful. So, goat, woman, goat, woman, woman. Goat, woman. Goat, woman, woman. Where the hell am I going? Is this gold door to the boss? No, it's for... Nope, that's for another locked door. Okay, so gold doors lead to these optional locked doors. I keep saying optional, but so far they're leading us down the path of progress. Again, I think this is just for the first layer of Walter Bernhard's castle. Goat, woman, woman. Okay. There's always, in JoJo, there's always a means to defeat vampires. Like in part 1 and 2, it's the Hamon, which is, or the Ripple, or Sudo. Oh, now we're cursed, but don't worry, now we're not. Because, thank you, item dupe. Oh, shit. It doesn't really, in most regular Castlevania games, or the other Igavania games, that just gets rid of all your MP. And it slowly makes you lose it. But here, since we don't really use the MP, it's fine. We can actually set this guy on fire. There we go. Goat, woman, woman. And then it's... woman, goat, woman. Oh, goat, woman, goat, woman, goat. This is sounding very weird. Okay, but I think we're getting close to the... What's this? It's another dagger, or a knife. One of these will lead down the path of progress, and one of them will be, so it's... goat, woman, goat, woman. And this leads us to this door. And it's a... HP upgrade. Good. So by doing little optional things like this, you can increase your HP. Now, what was the other one? I think it was woman, goat. Shoot. Let me go look back over there. I had a guide for this last time. This... I gotta walk all the way back through the hallway to figure out what it was. Jeez. Let's see. It was woman, goat, woman, goat. Okay. Woman, goat, woman, goat. Woman, goat, woman, goat. I probably sound like a crazy person saying all this shit. Woman, goat. Okay. Woman, goat, woman, goat. So I was one off. Alright, fine, whatever. Progress, please. Yay, progress! Progress is indicated by enemies. Okay, so apparently everybody can just teleport. Cool. Even skeletons can teleport. Cool. So unlike unlike Devil May Cry, this game doesn't grade you on style. There's no real reason why you shouldn't just go with the most optimal means of destruction. In most cases, it's just using the strong attack. The quick attacks are useful in certain instances, but you're better off doing a lot more damage than you are just landing up combos. There's no real reason to do combos. Oh look, it's Alistair's. Or evil swords. They have faces on them. That's how you know they're evil. It's another optional area. Shit. Where is the progress? Where is the progress? Oh, come on. But at least we can change our damage into hearts. So... go all the way across, I guess? Jeez. This is gonna need some serious editing. Or maybe this will just be a really long episode. This is a big castle. It's a big castle. But this is just the first stage. Jeez, man. This only took me 5 hours to originally beat. How many hours has it taken? Only 49 minutes. Jeez. Well, with the intro cutscene. And then there was the cutscene at the beginning of the game. So that probably took up some time. Still. First stage should not be this long. Oh, there was just a way I didn't go. Okay. I just didn't go this way. So let's just take a look behind this door and see what's behind it. Oh, and now there's this. So these tiles are very fragile. You need to just walk on them. If you don't walk on them, then if you jump on them, then they'll break. You gotta be careful. Or you'll just get zapped by lasers. That's also a thing. Okay. What does this door do? Okay, let's go in that door. It's a save room. Forgot about that. Let's just save before we get stomped on. All right. Okay. Well, we're just gonna... Oh, that's the boss door. The big boss door. Finally! I've been looking for you, asshole. Maybe I should have gone back and bought some more items. So I think... Oh, right. So the boss isn't the giant worm beat monster. It's actually these eyes. So what you want to do is just whip it good. Just use your strong attack. That should do plenty of damage. So far, it's working pretty well. Let's just go ahead and set these things on fire. Worm does not want to actually come play with me. Soulless is what it's called. Or, oh, that's what these monster little zombie things are called. Soulless. It's a good name. So I believe after I whip 4 of these things, let's actually do the crosses. Yeah, do constant damage. Get that hit ratio up. Looks cool. Makes me feel good. Yeah. Now that we've gotten those down, there's going to be one big one that comes out this big old hole in the ground. It's like that one stage in Devil May Cry 2. Boy, that's a fun game. Cannot believe I actually tried. Oh, and now the boss begins. Undead Parasite. And now we're having fire breathed on us. Don't worry, it's a DPS race. One that I will win. Suck it. There we go. And it's dead. So we were just hitting its butt. I guess. I don't know how these two things are connected. I guess it's its butt. Whatever. It's dead. And with that, the first boss is defeated. And this is culminating into a blue orb. So this is how you alter your sub-weapons. And it also restores your health. Now, what you can do is you can press the L1 button and you can activate the little blue orb. And as you can see, if you turn it off, then it's just regular cross. But if you add an orb, which you will get from one boss, and there's actually 2 secret ones later, they will alter your weapon. So now you have a really big cross to defend you. This obviously isn't the best one for the cross, but there are much better ones. One that will kind of turn into a projectile eventually. So that's a cool one. And every time you beat the boss, you turn back up at Ronaldo's. Again, very handy. And our buddy Ronaldo here, occasionally he will give us...
You've done well to come back.
He'll give us these little dialogue bits. So we actually have quite a bit of cash on us. Memorial tickets will return us back to the last save point. So yes, we will take one of those. And probably duplicate it. These gems are not initially useful, but will come handy later. Oh, and these are... Oh, there's the Jade Mask. I think that's a gain completion item. Can charge and destroy large candle stands with this power at the special Jade. This will increase our defense. These are relics that will happen whenever that will activate whenever you use magic. But this sacrificial doll will take a hit for us, or take a death for us, in case we die. And let's also get this earth plate. That's more armor. That'll help us defend ourselves. The music box lets us... It's basically the music player. So let's actually go ahead and pick up a potion to duplicate. And these gems are not initially useful, but there is an item later on that will be able to tap into their potential. So let's actually go ahead and buy a few.
Is that all? Don't push yourself too hard.
I'll do the duplication stuff off screen just to get some more cash in my pocket, just so I have enough items on hand to progress this a lot faster. Because obviously this first episode was quite a while long. But hopefully the future episodes should be quite a bit shorter. Hopefully. So let's actually go ahead and go back and see what else we have to do. Because that was the first boss, and there's only 4 more left in order to access Walter's castle. Or at least Walter's area. Walter's domain. And since we've beaten the boss, this gem now decides to glow. And there's one for each one. There's a red one, there's a purple one, there's a green one, and there's a yellow one, and we just did the blue one. Blue's my favorite. And there's, according to this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7. So there's 2 secret ones. There's the white and there's the black jewel. But those are from certain secret areas that defined. So until next time I will take on another area of Bernhardt's castle. But until then, thank you for watching.